Hi guys, we're live. Well, hi guys to 0 viewers at the moment, but replay people, thank you so much for watching this video. And this is going to be an interesting one because I think that the topic of our video is close to heart to so many entrepreneurs and so many people who are trying to make it in the digital world that you will find it very valuable. Because today I am with Arne Giske, the digital nomad himself of whatever. For me, at the moment in my life, he is the king of laptop lifestyle. So I have a lot of questions because I want to be there.
Yeah.
Hi Arne, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Just getting this shared out to my community. I know they're excited to hear this one too. There's just so much fun stuff going on with the laptop lifestyle, and as much as I would love to sit here for like 12 hours and talk to you and cover everything, I'm just excited to dive in and see what you want to hear most and help everybody out. Oh, I see Tina hopped on. What's going on, Tina?
Here. Hi, Tina. Well, it's not going to be 12 hours because, guys, if you want action-packed 12 hours, you will have to take Arne's course, and we will talk about it later. But at the moment, it's going to be a nice half an hour of just a little teaser, how it can actually be. Where are you talking to me from today, Arne?
So right now I'm in Palermo, Italy. I just left Venice yesterday morning. I went to Florence. I went to Rome, Barcelona, Paris. So I'm on like a 2-month Europe trip right now, and just having a blast. I don't know, you were probably a little bit busy today, but I had a funny story from last night. We might want to run through that in a little bit too.
Well, why don't we start with that?
All right, sounds good. So something funny happened to me yesterday, and I wanted to figure out how to kind of turn that into a lesson for my audience to kind of fill people in on what's going on, how I deal with things and solve problems. Yeah, Tina already checked it out. So I did a live stream earlier. I talked to my group. I was saying how, when so I'm traveling alone. I came for an event in Barcelona with some friends and everything, but this whole next leg of the journey is solo travel. And solo travel is a lot like entrepreneurship. You really kind of have to wing it, and you have to be a problem solver, and you can't just like give up, I was totally lost in Venice, really trying to figure out where I was going, where my Airbnb was. You can't just like give up and be like, all right, I quit, So when you have that same mentality and bring that into business, it makes you unstoppable. So it's really cool. So what happened was I got into Palermo Airport last night, and I'm staying at an Airbnb out here. I also arranged for somebody to come and pick me up. The Airbnb host. So I touch down, I get a text from the host, and she says, look for the white Mercedes. This is Beatrice. She's going to come pick you up. And I was kind of just like, this goes so against everything my mom ever told me, just hop in this car with a stranger in this foreign country and driving off into the middle of nowhere. And, it's so much of what I do is like winging it and really trusting the process. And I think that's what makes it such a fun adventure to be, doing what I'm doing, living the digital nomad lifestyle, being an entrepreneur. You just never know what's going to happen next. All you can do is kind of prepare and go with the flow and have some fun while you're at it. So I made it. I didn't get kidnapped. It wasn't like the scene from Taken, like Tina was saying earlier. I made it. So that was pretty funny. And that's what I shared with my community earlier. I was saying, it's if you can be somebody who is consistently solving problems and on your toes, and you go with the journey, everything's going to be easier. It's going to be more fun, and you're going to be able to accomplish a lot of things.
But that's a lot to do with your mindset as well, because that's a lot to do with pushing your comfort zone, and you literally have to do it all the time. And when you exercise that ability in your life and in your business, there's always success, like you can't just be staying, as you said, there's situations in life where you can't say, I just give up. And there's situations where you can say that, but you shouldn't. You should just press on and,
Definitely.
it's just going to happen. It's just maybe just one step ahead that you're afraid to take. So this is brilliant. Tell me, just for those people, I know that there will be a lot of people who are watching, and we're sort of in the same, digital space. But for those people who don't know us, I think that we should just say a couple of things about who we are. And I will start with myself, just because I'm a host and I have that privilege. And yes, for those people who are just befriended or befriended me and you don't know who I am Juliette Stapleton. I'm an organic marketing expert, and I really love Facebook, and I'm really into how you can build your business on Facebook using organic methods. And so far, I haven't used any ads for my engagement and my growth, and it has brought loads of brilliant results. So what I'm interested in is how other people are doing it without using advertisement on Facebook, against the odds that we have with Facebook, by using your personal profiles and building their reputation and authority online, and then building groups. And that's why I have Arne here today, because Arne has a group of just under 30,000 people. How many people are there as of today, approximately?
Let's see. Let me go check. I know I just approved a bunch of other people, so we're getting pretty close to 29,000. 28,789 members.
Wow.
It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
And I love 99% of them.
Well, I'm a part of your group as well, and I know that there's a lot of groups out there that are big groups, but they are quiet. Nothing is really happening. Now, in my personal experience, about 5 years ago, I created a group on Facebook aimed at getting local business people, getting together, exchanging ideas. And that was the idea behind the group. Little did I know 5 years ago that you need to have your rules, and you need to really establish what to do and what not to do, because everybody who joined really assumed that this is another billboard for their free advertisement, and they just kept posting ads. And some people, I realized later on, would have my group name as a part of their publishing software. So when they're uploading, let's say, pictures of their stuff on their page, it was immediately shared into the group. And I was getting so upset, and I'd be calling them and saying, "What are you doing, man? Why are you post?" And they didn't even know what I was talking about, because it was automated. They didn't even realize. And you know what? I put a post there probably 6 months ago saying, "Guys, no more ads." And since then, we had not a single post.
Yep. It's all about how people set the tone, and if people let things persist for too long, then it happens like that. But a lot of times it can come from the leaders too. Like, you guys may see me with an almost 30,000 Facebook group, but I actually had 4 failed Facebook groups before the Millennial Entrepreneur Community. I totally got them started for selfish reasons. I didn't understand how engagement worked. I didn't understand as much about digital marketing and copywriting. And I totally let them die. I was trying to be promotional. One of them was just called Business Bloggers with Arne Giske. And all I did was share my own blog posts, and then I wonder why nobody cared.
Well, that's what happens. If you don't understand the concept of social media, and the accent here is on social, you're really missing the whole point, because nobody, if you're going socializing to a bar or pub, you don't want people to come up and throw their business cards into your teeth while you're drinking beer. This is as simple as that. And this is a point that a lot of people miss. And I have to say that, thankfully, 99% of people, when you explain to them that this is wrong and this is spammy and this is not the way, they do come around and they say, "Oh my God, I've never seen this way, but actually this is so much better. I'm getting so much better engagement. I'm getting business back. I'm making money." They have to
get educated,
That's right. That's right.
That's what we're here for.
That's right. Exactly. And since I met Arne, I have another group that is going on Facebook, my Fearless Business group. And the story in that group is completely different. Even though I haven't been chasing the numbers, I haven't been working, quality over quantity. At the moment, it is all about training and quantity. But I was really, I found that what Arne is teaching and how to approach the group, which I'm taking Arne's course. I'm guilty as charged. I'm here to tell. I'm here to testify. It is absolutely amazing, and I can see a lot of really, really good results from what I'm doing in my group. with learning what Arne is teaching me. But let's just go back to the roots, to the very start, before the 4 failed groups, and before. Tell me, what were you doing a few years ago? And it did involve some parcels.
Yes. So I've always kind of been entrepreneurial spirited. I studied in college. My first business was actually a pedicab rickshaw business, if you've heard of that, out in Seattle. I had a ton of fun with that. I loved it. It was a cool little side hustle for making some good money in college, you know. But I knew I couldn't do that forever, so I did it for a couple of years, and I ended up, you know, going through college. I got out. I got into network marketing. I joined an MLM for insurance sales. I hated it. It wasn't my style, but I was kind of sold on the idea, and I knew I wanted to build like a better, more official business. And riding a pedicab around wasn't really an official business, you know. So the whole idea of that was that I could start building my career and building my team and all this stuff. But it really wasn't for me. It was the wrong company. It was the wrong fit. But I got a lot of valuable skills from that. Later on, I picked up pedicab again, you know, it's a good side hustle. And I started looking into the online business space because I had learned so much just in that 6 months experience of working for that company. And
bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you. So I learned so much just from that 6 months experience working from that company. I always say, like, a bad business is kind of like a bad relationship. You always know what you don't want in the next one. So I took all those lessons learned from going through that experience with the MLM company, and I had a better understanding of what I was wanting to put up with and not put up with in a business opportunity. So I wanted something that would be location independent. I wanted something that could be a little bit more flexible. And scalable was the biggest thing for me. So I started looking into online business and started really just soaking up all the free webinars and trainings and podcasts I could. And I was just so curious and on the edge. I wasn't on the sidelines. I always say, you know, people need to get off the sidelines and get in the game. So I finally got in the game, November 2015. And at the time I was working for UPS. I was delivering packages in the freezing cold Seattle winter. And in between deliveries, I was pitching people for like marketing services and stuff. So I never let the entrepreneurial dream die off. I knew I wasn't going to be delivering packages forever. So I had to figure out how to keep making it working.
And did you offer them done for you service at that stage, or was it sort of more a coaching?
At that point, it was actually, I was kind of like a services broker. So I had a handful of contractors that could actually fulfill the work. Whereas I knew enough about it where I could talk about it and sell it, but not actually like build an app or a website or a Facebook ads campaign or anything like that. So I had a handful of partners, but it actually took me 3 months to get my first sale. So that whole time I was beaten down. I was struggling. I didn't want to give up because I knew I was so close. I had so many conversations with business owners and talking about, you know, what we did and what we had going on. I was trying to build up a few things. And I felt the momentum, even though I wasn't, you know, feeling anything hitting my pockets from those first 3 months. I felt the momentum. I kept stuff going. I kept working on building the pipeline, and I ended up getting a mobile app deal for $15,000 as my very first sale for online business, and it blew my mind. You know, it wasn't 15 grand in my pocket. I got a commission off that from the partners, but that just completely opened my eyes to the possibilities of online business, and I wanted to keep doing it bigger and better, and that kind of led me into you know, really skilling up and getting better at a lot of things and starting offering more of my own services. And starting a podcast and starting a Facebook group and really just materializing my audience from zero. So that's kind of how I got started with finding success in my online business.
And what about now? Are you satisfied with what you're doing on your own? I know you do have some people working for you, but I'm talking about your course, or you're still offering people, you're still doing some sort of mediation between people as well, or you don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah, I don't really need to, but I still like to occasionally. So what I figured out was, so I went the route of, agency, Facebook ads, sales funnels, that kind of stuff. But I figured out I was a lot better of a writer than I was at Facebook ads. So I got so much better at writing just through practicing in my Facebook group. And that helped me become a better copywriter. That helped me write better emails for my clients and sales pages and all these things. So I definitely put a focus on that. And it's definitely something I still do to this day, is help people with their writing. I feel there's another sneeze coming on.
That's okay, let it all out.
Don't you hate that when it doesn't come out, but you feel it?
Oh, it's the worst.
But yeah, so I've always loved writing. I think it's the coolest thing to be able to pull ideas out of your head, put them on paper or on type, and be able to move people to action. And it's hugely powerful to have that as a skill. And above anything else in online business, I think that's something that everybody should develop. It's just so crucial, because no matter what you're trying to do, whether you want somebody to read an article, buy your course, follow your posts, care about what you're up to, you need to be able to communicate that. And so much of communication online is text. It's absolutely key. So it had been really awesome to be able to develop the skill naturally as I grew my group, as I was posting more consistently, figuring out what people respond best to. I was getting paid a bunch of money to write that for other people. So it was really powerful, and it's like the only done for you service that my agency still offers. I even have a junior copywriter who helps me out. Shout out to Luis Velez. Awesome work. He's getting trained up, and he's got some great stuff going on. So that's what we still do for the Done For You, for a few select people. And we also, so I'm super excited. We're actually just opening up a beta round of my private coaching for groups. I had always just had people go to the course before, but some people just needed that extra level of support. So I'm excited to open that one up. And we got a bunch of beta applications. So don't worry about that one for now, guys. You'll hear about the real deal later on. But yeah, that's
just a teaser. Keep your eyes on.
Just a teaser. That's what's happening, but you can't get in. So yeah, it's really just been a focus on the course and scaling that more. Because I don't know if you've read that book, The One Thing by Gary Keller.
I haven't, not yet.
Hold on one sec. I got it right here, actually. So for anybody coming on late, I'm in Palermo, Italy, doing a 2-month Europe trip. And I only had room for one book, and it was The One Thing. So I hugely recommend this book, you guys. It's really all about understanding what is the one thing that you can do for your life and your business and accomplish that is big and scary and going to make everything else easier. So my one thing has been my course. So after a while of, going from really heavily into the done for you stuff, the consulting, all that, I wanted to hit that tipping point where my passive income would outweigh the done for you stuff. And I think May was the first month that happened. And that opened up the doors to a new shift in my business. Because I had known that was the one thing since March, February, when I got started with the course. Then it was like the goal to be able to make that real. And it was really life-changing to be able to understand the principle of the one thing and put that into action and see it through. So because I was able to have that be the one thing for me and accomplish it, that gave me more cash flow to scale, to hire, to stop doing as much done for you services that were taking up so much time. And to really focus on building out that infrastructure. And it's really awesome to have clarity on your one thing. So if you guys don't know what yours is, that one big domino that you can accomplish that will make everything in your life easier, grab that book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. Read it. There's tons of stuff in there that's not just what I told you. You know, it's a lot about understanding your own habits and things like that, how to be more productive. And that has been a game changer for me. So this is my second time reading it. I read it one time and then I brought it on this trip so I could read it again and really just focus on that one thing. So that's been the main focus. And also I wanna pull up a quote from it. I saved a quote in my phone and I really, really loved it. It was super powerful. So let's see. While I find it, what do you think about the whole one thing phenomenon?
Yes, I was just about to say that I'm afraid to say something because the momentum could be ruined. You know, we're all waiting for the quote. But what guys I find absolutely inspirational about Arne's story is it's very close to me, very close to home here, because I have a digital marketing agency that I do done for you service for people. And, you know, since I started doing since I started just building my online reputation, which wasn't that long, and I have seen so much. I'm doing coaching online. I'm just now launching a Facebook organic engagement course that I am building. And guys, if you're interested in jumping on the wagon before it goes into a very expensive price while it's still beta, go onto my wall. There's a post there with a very good offer. And then carrying on from that, I have so many plans. And even today, one of my Done For You clients is now asking me to coach them, which is brilliant, because in my life, I also have a one thing that I want to do, which is move to Spain. And I want to have that kind of lifestyle like Arne has, where
we'll hang out in Spain.
Yeah, well, that's it. Oh, no, we're definitely having a party. Everybody's invited. I just have to make it first, so help me do it.
Yeah, definitely.
But I want to have my motorbike and I want to drive around and just, do you have a room? Yeah, is your internet good? Yeah. Okay, book me in. That's what I want in my life. I think it's great. And as you said, sometimes you feel the momentum is there. I definitely feel the momentum is here right now. And you know, the huge money or huge opportunities, they come if you just grab onto that momentum. Because I'm telling you, it's just, they start coming in when you least expect, or when you want to give up, and then things start happening. So you have to be persistent in this. Did you find your quote?
I didn't find the right one, but I found another good one. Okay. So once again, guys, this is from the book, The One Thing. And it's just so many little epiphanies about cool things about understanding your priorities and focus. So this one says, why would we ever tolerate multitasking when we're doing our most important work? So think about that for a second. I know I used to be in the camp where I was trying to do this and trying to do that, and I had a couple side hustles and a couple focuses and all these projects yanking at my attention. But I never really had clarity on what that one big thing was that was going to be the game changer. Once I understood that, it became so much easier for me to focus on that. So I want you guys to think about that right now, all of you side hustlers and people with 20 projects and ideas and stuff. What is that one thing that can make everything else easier? And think, why would you multitask and try and do all these other things if you already know what your big one thing is that's going to help you accomplish so much more? And get that through your head, that it's real, that once you put your focus on that one thing, it is just going to make everything easier, and you're going to be able to hit a very high level of success with that thing. So basically what the other quote said, that I was looking for, was that you need to be selectively ignorant, basically, and understand that when you allow yourself to not succeed in a lot of areas, it gives you more space to focus on one area. So if, for example, like I don't use Instagram, I don't use Snapchat, I don't use LinkedIn, but I have one of the biggest and most engaged groups for entrepreneurs on the planet. I decided to fail in the areas of Instagram, LinkedIn, not put my effort there, and put it where I knew I could seriously make an impact and where I had very unique skills. Like, I don't touch Instagram with a 10-foot pole because I would be getting in there like a grandpa. I'd be like, how do I use a hashtag, you know? So you got to understand what your strengths are and really focus on that. Because when you do that, you always stay in your zone of genius. And especially as entrepreneurs and especially as solopreneurs, we already have 50 tasks we have to do. We don't have to become a social media manager on every platform. We don't have to be a tax strategist. We don't have to do absolutely everything. So if you figure out what you can do best and bring the most value with, that gives you the flexibility and the cash flow to scale and start having other people solve more of your problems. So instead of half-assing something else, you can have somebody else do it for you. So that was a monumental shift in my business this year that gave me more freedom and flexibility, and so many things, because I really focused on what I was the best at, which was helping people with Facebook groups. So it's been awesome to have that happen.
Well, I have to say, I had so many questions for you, and I was going to ask you, like, what's your favorite tools that you're using for automation of your, Facebook? I want to talk about a little bit about maybe ClickFunnels. I was talking about the live videos. I'm not talking about any of this now, because you just really blew my mind. All these things that I was thinking over the last few weeks, which, we're in this year with very high energies at the moment. We just had an eclipse yesterday, solar eclipse. We're just having a major reset in our lives. So there's a lot going on. And this, what you were saying about not multitasking, concentrating on one thing, knowing what that thing is, because when you find out what that thing is, you will also realize that this is something that comes very naturally to you, that you absolutely enjoy. So it's not like working hard doesn't come into equation here. You are enjoying what you're doing. You're concentrating on what's the important thing for you. And as you said yourself, then things fall into place because you are concentrating on this thing. And it's sort of similar to when people say you need to niche down and you need to, there's a little bit more to that, it's not just, it's not, you're niching down, but you just need to find that one thing within your heart and put it into your business.
Absolutely. And one of the other big key teachings I found in there, I shared this with the student group the other day, was that they did a bunch of studies and found that it takes 66 days on average for somebody to build a habit. So whereas I've been running the group for, just over a year now, I'm on autopilot when I go in and post and share stuff. Like understanding how to build a productive habit like that helps move you towards that goal. Like I wouldn't be able to have a big engaged group and teach groups if I didn't have a big engaged group. So understanding that the first part of taking a new action towards something is always going to be the hardest. And that if you can really stick it through and build a habit, like they say, 66 days. So if you can think of something you guys have going on tonight. When I was talking about the one thing, something popped into your mind. Every single one of you guys watching this, whether you're live or replay, you don't have to share it or anything. Just think about it. And then tomorrow marks day 1 of 66. What are you going to do to build up that one thing? You've got just over 2 months where you can build a new habit that's going to help you achieve that one thing and change your life, set you up for a new level of success. So I want you guys to mark your calendars right now, do a little brainstorm tonight, and start putting in the work. Don't miss a single day. That's also called the Seinfeld method, where he developed his comedy skills by writing jokes every day. And if you can do that, whatever it is you're working on and building, and do it every day, it's going to make everything easier. You're going to get in the habit. You're not even going to think about it. You're just going to put the work in. Like people that work out every day, I think they're crazy because I haven't built up that habit, but there's I wake up, I go to the gym. It's like, okay, that's going to take me a lot more effort, but I'll post in my Facebook group every day and I'll help people out.
Well, whatever works for you. If your goal is to have a six-pack and you are going, that's something that motivates you. There are people whose physical shape or physical condition and their health motivates them, and that's their thing. Fair enough, and I know so many people. I've had one of them on my shows here as well. So, there's a lot to say. But guys, it's so true. 66 days on average, 90 days for sure. 90 days you get your habit. That's why the 12 programs, 8 weeks programs, 12-week programs really work, but you have to work every day towards it. You have to take a small step every day. I always say, imagine a ladder and just, climb one step at a time. Don't try and jump up and don't look down or don't look up. just where you're going, So Well, okay, so let's just, to wrap up this, it's an amazing conversation. I wanted to talk a little bit about your course. And to be honest with you, the way to start, and there's so much value in it, is to download Arne's group growth cheat sheet that he has. And I dropped a link earlier on in the comments. It's absolutely amazing. It's 3 full pages of action. Well, this is basically what you can do to your Facebook profile, to your Facebook page, to your website, to bring traffic into your group. Now, guys, not everybody needs a group, and that's how it is. You have to understand whether your business, whether your business generates questions from the customers. Then yes, the group is a great place to educate them about, even if you're selling products. Sometimes it's just, pointless. So don't go and just start groups and then, complain that there's no engagement. If there's it's just not, the groups is not for everyone. You need to think about don't just go and follow and do things that everybody else is doing. Think about what's best for your people, not even for you, for your customers. What do they want?
I find the best reason to start a group is the same reason to start a discussion. The real benefit of using Facebook groups is grabbing people's attention from where they're already at. So they're already on Facebook. They're spending tons of time there. They're in other groups. They're talking about stuff. And now you can create your own little corner of the internet where they can hang out and have those discussions and get value. And it's all attached to your name, your brand, and your business. So I'd say if you're curious about starting a group, think about if there's discussion going on around it. If there is, you can lead that discussion. And the coolest thing about communities is there's always an industry attached to a community. And with the opportunities we have today, you get to be the leader of the industry and the community. So it's been such a cool journey to really take this group. It took me 6 months to get to 1,000 members because I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was just kind of winging it. And I finally hit 1,000 members and I was like, all right, I think I'm onto something. Let's figure out what's working in other groups. And that's when I really kind of began my research and my testing and started going into other groups and understanding what made them work. And I got an awesome piece of advice. Always happy to give credit to Dan Meredith for this one. He runs Coffee with Dan. And I was just around that 1K member mark. I was trying to figure out, okay, what can I do? What is going to make my group stand out? So he had like an Ask Me Anything session. I said, hey, how can I make my group more awesome and more engaged? He said, show up every day and put more valuable content in the group than most people have in their courses. I was like, all right, I can do that. And off it went. And in the next month following that, we ended up getting featured on Fast Company, which brought in a ton of members, and the organic growth just skyrocketed from there. Because the more engagement you get, the more Facebook suggests your group. So the best place to start with that is obviously that group growth cheat sheet below, and then really ride the wave, really be consistent with your engagement. And then you can always figure out how you can turn that into business growth later. But most importantly, you need attention. Attention is currency online, guys. So it took me a while to monetize the group, but once I did, it was like everybody already knew me and knew what I was about and trusted me. So it was like a no-brainer for them to sign up for my offers. Like I think I waited too long to make some offers. And then when I finally did, a bunch of people got them, and I was like, I should have done this earlier. So it can be really powerful to have a group that's engaged, that's around your topic, and that you get to be the leader of. It just makes it like playing the game on easy mode.
Well, that's it. So basically the key is that you show up every day, you give loads of value. Arne, just in very short, where do you draw a line between giving, free value, free trainings, and then your course where you're charging? Where is that fine line? Because a lot of people, their reservation is like, oh, I don't want to give everything. Don't give everything away. Don't give everything away.
Yeah.
My husband always says that.
I love this question. I got a big smile on because I see this question come up a lot, especially with group owners and content creators and everything like that. The thing is, you can give away as much as you can. What really separates me and a few other people I know from a lot of competition is they give away so much actionable free stuff like that group growth cheat sheet below that somebody can go and take it and implement it quickly and get a result long before they ever paid me. We've got over 4,000 people that grabbed that cheat sheet, and just about 200 in the course. But that means I've been able to impact 4,000 people to start growing their groups, and 200 at a higher level. So it's crazy because so many people were able to take the value that I gave in that free resource and get results. And that's what helped me stand out. If I if I put out like a short, like bad, here's 7 tips on, running your Facebook group, and then I put the group growth stuff in behind the paywall, people would think, oh yeah, those are all right tips. I might have known a few of those. But if they go through this group growth cheat sheet down there and they're like, I did not know any of this, this is gold, then it makes people want so much more. So the funniest thing about like drawing the line is that if somebody took maybe, I don't know, 20 hours and then went through every single interview I've done on groups, every single blog post, every single tip I've put out in my group and other groups, they could probably find 60% of the material that's in my course. But they're not going to do that. So there's no reason to really hold back. If you can really help people and serve them and just blow people's mind with your free content, they're going to want more. So I always say just give away the farm.
Well, I have to say 2 things. First, your growth sheet blew my mind when I saw it, because I used to I'm like yourself, when you went in on all the free webinars and everything. I was like this in the beginning of the year, and God, I've consumed so much and so many PDFs I've downloaded. And you know what? The funny thing is that, believe me, I probably opened 2 or 3 of them, and it's probably 100 ones that I've downloaded. Sometimes I clear my desktop with that note folder, and I'm like, I never even, and I'm not bothered now. My mind is not there now. But when I went into your growth cheat sheet, first of all, it's not a PDF, which I loved. It's like a mini website, and it has it's so well laid out. And I literally just read the tips. They are so comprehensive. There's nothing that doesn't make sense in this information. And I was reading it and thinking, oh my God, this is just like, of course this. And then the next page, I was like, yeah, of course. And I went and implemented all of this. And just organically, I think within the first week, I had 20 people just coming to my group. And that was at the very start, and nobody knew it. And I wasn't even promoting it as much here in my personal page. So, this is one thing. And I completely forgot what the other thing was. But this is Juliette Stapleton World, and who is in my group? Those people know that happens very often. I will remember it eventually.
Yeah.
But, oh yes.
Cool, so, like, I don't think you would have gotten the course if there wasn't so much like results coming in from just the free stuff.
And that brings me to the thing that I forgot. I was talking about why I took the course, because first of all, the free stuff was so there was just things that were important to have. There was a lot of free stuff. I looked at it and I thought, this is crazy that this is all free, because I charge people to do that for them. Well, that's a different story. Not everyone is taking time to do it, but still. And then when I started looking at your course, personally, I mentioned that my whole thing right now is about organic engagement, and your course is really about engagement more than anything, because it's through engagement and organic engagement that you grow the group. It's through attraction marketing when you are building yourself as a expert, as a industry leader, and you get people, you help people, and then the word of mouth does the trick as well. So this is a brilliant course. And guys, I really do recommend, if you have a service-based business and you would benefit, you see, having a big group, what's good about having a big group is you can monetize, because not everybody will go and buy your service. Even those people who absolutely adore you will not necessarily go and buy your service. They might not be in the right place in their life for it, and that's fine. Some of them will be just raving fans who will never take your service, but they will tell everybody else, and that's fine as well. So the more people you have in the group, the more the ratio between people who are buying.
There's another cool concept a lot of people don't talk about, that I call member development. So it's the idea that the first time somebody gets introduced to your brand, it doesn't mean they're going to turn into a client or a customer. A lot of times it takes a while to get warmed up to them, So when I started my journey into podcasting last year, I was the same as you. I grabbed every resource, every PDF, every this, every that. I joined a bunch of groups, and the two that stood out was the one that had, number one, the best free resource and the best Facebook group. So it took me 6 months to be able to afford that person's course, and I dropped $1,000 on it when I was ready. So it took me that long from awareness. You know, I went, saw the cheat sheet, I saw the course. I can't afford that right now. So I joined the community. I learned more. I got more value. I kept, you know, going through that group, and then I later on bought. So that's the coolest thing is, like, as you grow your group, you're continuously doing that member development where they get to see your offers, what you're up to, how to support you, how you can support them, and really growing together. So the longer and the more engaged you can have your group and the more growth you get, that's just going to compound everything. So that's why it has been so much easier to have a group over time that grew. So really the best time to get started with that member development is right now. Make it happen, guys. Grow it, get it engaged, and have fun too.
Well, that's right. And if you need to know how to do it, and I am probably halfway now Arne's course, and I absolutely love it.
Already?
so when you go and get your cheat sheet, and there will be a link to join the course, I urge you to consider taking this course, because every penny of this course, and I know the price is going to go up very soon, so grab it while it's still at, what is it now, $4.95 or something like that. And I'm going to give you an offer, guys. For those people who sign up to the course, you know, within the next month from this show, I'm going to give access to the course.
Less than that. It's going up faster.
Okay, faster. But anyway, so whoever's going to go in, right, and this is not an affiliation, I'm not going to get paid for this, but whoever's going to go in, I'm going to give access to my course that I'm building now in beta, and it's going to be about Facebook organic engagement. It's not the same stuff that Arne has in his course, but it's extremely complementary. So I'm going to check with Arne, and if we know that you signed up to his course, I will be in touch, and I will let you build the course, and for lifetime access, you will be also accessing my course, and I think that will
awesome.
Make it nice and sweet. Okay, yeah. Well, that was an absolutely
bonus.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I hope so. I'm gonna make like a super course. I know exactly what people want.
Good.
So
and you're gonna keep putting out awesome free stuff, right?
Well, oh, absolutely. You know, that's why I was asking you, where do you draw the line? You know, because everything I'm gonna be giving out away. But guys,
give it all away. Give it all away.
You know how I am. I might give you A and C, but I'll forget what the B was. I'm only kidding. Okay, Arne, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed Sicily. Sicily, I absolutely love. I had an amazing trip to Sicily once. We were actually staying in Napoli, and we drove all the way to Sicily and back, and then back because I forgot my passport in the hotel. So it was some adventure. It was brilliant. And I hope that, when are you back now to America?
Let's see. Actually, exactly a month. I'll get back on, the 21st. So just shy of a month. So
you're in Palermo now for a couple of weeks, and then where are you going after that?
I will be in Malta for a week. I'll be in Croatia. I'll be in the island of Kirk. London for a few days. We're going to do a meetup out in London. So any viewers out in London, hit me up. And that'll be September 16th. And then I have 2 or 3 days in Oslo. And then I fly back to the States. So if I'm crossing any of your paths, I would love to meet you guys and hang out. I'm sure I'm going to be doing fun stuff all throughout. So let's meet up. I'd love to see you guys.
It sounds absolutely just awesome. I am in Ireland here, and Arne is not coming to Ireland. On one hand, I'm devastated. On the other hand, we know we're going to meet in Spain. That's the plan in a couple of years. I have 2 years now to catch up, so it is possible. And you saw the interview. It is absolutely possible. Guys, thank you so much for watching.
Europe next year.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's what happens when you have a laptop lifestyle. You can just be anywhere you want. You don't have to be in an office. And this is the goal. Well, for me anyway, this is definitely a goal. Arne, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Absolutely blast I had, and I'm sure that all our viewers did as well. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your trip and a safe trip home. Okay, guys, bye. Thanks a million.
See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in.